Hello and welcome to Amigos IAS. I'm Adnan. Yesterday, the Supreme Court has delivered a significant judgment with respect to the EVM VVPAT case. The Supreme Court Division Bench has rejected all the petitions which were asking for 100% verification of the EVMs as well as with the VVPATs. That means the matching of the votes which are casted in the control unit of the EVM along with the VVPAT slips. And the petitioners also had asked if it is possible to return to the ballot paper system or the ballot box system, which countries like Germany have gone back. So why can't India also go back to that? Because this case is related to the distrust which is there in the current process of using EVMs. There are allegations of EVM tamperings, or there is some kind of distrust with respect to this electronic voting machines. So can't we go back to the ballot papers or the ballot boxes is the argument by the petitioners. But the court, the division bench, having two judges, have rejected their petitions altogether, but they have given some important directions as well as some suggestions. So before going to that, let's try to understand what are EVMs, how these VVPATs will work along with the EVMs, and then some factual details. At the end of the lecture, we will discuss about the Supreme Court verdict. So beginning with this, the title of the case is Association for Democratic Reforms. Okay, I'm sorry about this, it is reforms. Okay, and this NGO is since 1999, they have filed several cases with respect to the electoral reforms in India. Okay, and versus Election Commission of India 2024. And now, next segment here, what was the question which was posed by these petitioners? First, can we return to the paper ballot system, or the printed slip from the VVPAT machines should be given to the voters so that they can verify by themselves instead of seeing in that box, which has been in the past very transparent, but since 2017 what happened, it is now tinted and only it is glown for a 7 seconds, then we can see the vote has been casted to the particular candidate or not. So there are some questions by the petitioners that why can't you give the slip to the voter to verify whether the vote has been casted for the right candidate which they have selected in the EVMs or not. That was asked. So that once I verify the slip, I can again put it back in the ballot box, not giving back to the home, guys. Okay, that is one more question. Third question is, there should be 100% counting of the VVPAT slips in addition to electronic counting by the control unit of the EVM. So as we understand here, guys, if you see how the EVMs work, EVMs have three units, namely, this is basically the ballot unit on which we cast our votes. All the candidates' names as well as their symbols are there, their photos also are there. So here on this blue button, when we press this, the red light will be, LED light will be visible, guys. Fine. And this is connected to what? The control unit, which is held by the presiding officer or the polling officer. They will try to cast our votes. Of course, they can't see our choice of the votes, obviously. And that is connected to this, guys. Then it is connected to this VVPAT machine, which we are using since 2013, guys. Here in this particular display, as you can see, once you cast your vote, you can see the paper slip which is generated here, where you can see the serial number, the candidate and the symbol of the political party which you have voted. That will be there for 7 seconds as display. The paper will be cut and again it is going into this bin. In this bin, the sensors are there. That sensors will alert the control unit and your vote is registered. This is the process which goes on with respect to EVM, and these three components are there. Fine. So what the petitioners are asking, that 100% of the slips have to be counted and matched with the votes casted in the control units, guys, via the ballot units what we all use. So let's see first the factual details of EVMs, guys. First time EVMs were used in Kerala in the year 1982 as an experiment, okay? And then because we have to give legal sanctity once you are changing from ballot paper to the electronical machines, so you have to make the changes in the RP Act. So what happened? In year 1989, the Representation of the People Act 1951 was amended to allow the legal use of the electronic voting machines. And since then, from 2004 general elections, we are using EVMs all over India, guys. They are manufactured by whom? There are two companies here, guys. First one is the Bharat Electronics Limited, okay, BEL, which functions under the Ministry of Defense. Second one is what we have in Hyderabad here, which is the Electronic Corporation of India Limited, ECIL, guys. which functions under the Department of Atomic Energy. There is a technical experts committee of the Election Commission of India, which will be monitoring the production of these particular, from these two companies, whatever EVMs are manufactured, which are supervised by this technical experts committee of the Election Commission, guys. Fine, they are the engineers who will verify these EVMs. And in each EVM, how many votes can be cast? 2000 vote entries can be done in one single EVM. And one single EVM can handle how many? 16 candidates, guys. 16 candidates per 16 choices per one EVM. But as we have seen in Nizamabad constituency, MP constituency, in the last general elections, more than 185 people have contested for the one seat of Nizamabad. So how can we accommodate that many choices in one ballot unit? So what happens here is, as we have seen the photograph ballot unit and control unit, so now we are using, after 2013, some new EVMs called as M3 model EVMs. In these M3 EVMs, what happens? You can connect 24 ballot units to one control unit. So, in the picture, 24 of these can be connected to one control unit, which means what? 24, if you keep at a side, 24 into 16. 24 into 16 you have to do here, right? So, what happens here? 24 balloting units, each ballot unit has 16. So, 24 into 16, it is how much? Around 384 candidates can be displayed maximum, for one EVM here, guys. Because if you club all of them, 24 EVMs, it means 24 balloting units if you attach to one control unit, and has 24 into 16 means 384 candidates. It's a good number. It's a big number, guys. So this is what is the basic details about EVMs. And since when we are using this voter verified paper audit trails? Since 2013, because of one important case where Supreme Court has told it is a right of a particular voter to know the choice of the candidate whom they are voting. That means a paper trail is required, not just electronic symbol what we see. So Subramanian Swamy versus Election Commission of India 2013 case is important here. After this, we are using this EVMs first time experiment in 15 Noksen Assembly constituency in Nagaland. Some factual detail here, guys. Later, VVPAT slips have been used in all the general elections since then, guys. And they experimented in Manipur also. VVPAT slips, how many are counted as of now? So, for example, if for parliamentary constituency, if elections are being conducted, VVPAT slips of 5 EVMs in each assembly segment of a parliamentary constituency will be verified. That means how many votes have been cast in a particular control unit, those will be matched with the slips, the physical slips what are there. Verification has to be done, but not 100%. It takes a lot of time, guys. So what they are doing right now, in an entire parliamentary constituency, 5 particular random polling booths they will see in each assembly constituency. Means what? 5 EVMs in each assembly segment. Means 5 EVMs in every assembly segment of one parliamentary constituency will be considered. What if it is in the assembly elections are going on? So what they will do here? 5 random EVMs they will see in each assembly constituency. These are the current rules, guys. So that means just 5 EVMs in each assembly segment of parliamentary constituency, or in 5 polling booths they will see this. Not satisfied with this less number, Chandrababu Naidu also filed a case, guys, asking for 50% of verification of VVPAT slips. That was rejected by the Supreme Court. They did not accept that, guys. And repeatedly, many people have filed in different cases that they want verification of 50% or 100%. Courts have declined that. But now again, why they entertained the request is because elections are going on. Repeatedly, people are coming up for Supreme Court, doubting the sanctity of electoral process in India. As a result, the court has listened to this case and rejected the petitions altogether, guys. Now coming to this point, what Supreme Court has told, 2 important directions we have to focus. First one, as you can see here, symbol loading units which are used in the VVPATs, they should be sealed and stored for 45 days after the election results. Generally, this symbol loading units, as you can see here, guys, these should be attached to the VVPAT by various controls here, cables. What happens is in the VVPAT, because the symbol, the serial number, the candidate's photograph is displayed, those details have to be entered into the VVPAT by these symbol loading units. Okay, this is helpful to load the symbols, then only it can be displayed on the VVPAT slips, guys. So this is important because a few days before the elections are going to happen, they will load the election commission will load the symbols, okay, and the serial numbers of the political contestants, the candidates into those units. So these symbol loading units, generally after the elections are over and the counting is done, they will diffuse them. But now what the court has told, 45 days, you keep them stored in the strong room along with the EVMs. Along with the EVMs, keep these symbol loading units as well for verification in future, guys. Okay, how many days? 45 days. And the seal should be signed by the candidates who are there, or their agents or representatives. They all can sign the seal, and it is stored in the strong room for 45 days. Okay, they will be examined in the same way EVMs are checked in case of discrepancies. Second important direction what the court has given here. Let's say after the elections you are having some disputes. So you want to file a petition, like you want the recounting to be done, you are having some doubts on the EVM process. So here Supreme Court has given one facility. Within 7 days of declaration of the result, the two runner-ups, means what? Second place person, third place person, these two runner-ups within 7 days can file a request or a permission to the election commission that they want to inspect the EVM's memory here. So what happens here, guys? The burnt memory, single one-time programmable memory is there in these micros. Second time, if you are doing this overrun of the memory here, that verification can be done by the engineers, okay, of the election commission. Okay, then what they will do, they will see if the memory has been burnt more than once. So see here, within 5% of the EVMs in one constituency, okay, in the whole constituency, 5% EVMs, what they will do, they will examine whether the memory was tampered in those microcontrollers. And with written request, okay, of course, they won't do randomly. Those second and third, the contestants who came, the two runner-ups, they have to write a written request to the election commission, okay, within 7 days. And if it is found out that no discrepancies are there, the EVMs are not tampered, then the election, the costs of those, okay, the entire cost of this operation has to be borne by those candidates. If there was tampering done, if they found out some discrepancy is there, then the money is refunded back to those contestants, guys, or the candidates. But the court was silent. What will happen in case they find discrepancy? Will the elections be cancelled or not? That was not told. Only once it has happened that the counting of this particular EVM votes with the verification of VVPAT slips has gone wrong. In 2019 assembly elections of Andhra Pradesh, in Maidukuru assembly constituency, 14 EVM votes were more than the VVPAT slips. Then it was found out that these 14 are not discrepancies. They were actually trial votes which were cast to test the EVMs. That is what is the response by election commission. Apart from that, the court has told we have not found any mismatches. So here also the court was silent. What will happen in case there is discrepancies in the verification of the slips of this VVPAT, or let's say in this case of tampering of EVMs, if the memory is found to be tampered, then what should be done? Court has not told here, guys. After this, what the court has told? Suggestions. Justice Khanna, okay, has told election commission, is it possible that the slips what we are counting, as you are telling, it is going to take a lot of time. So can't we have an electronic machine for counting the paper slips of the VVPAT? Because if you do that, it is easy to count the slips, okay, in a fast way. Okay, and also second suggestion what they have said, whether along with the symbol, can there be a barcode for each party in those slips, guys? So this is an interesting observation. What happens here, guys? Okay, if the barcode is given for every political party in those slips, in the VVPAT slips, in future we may expect, because of barcodes, easily with the help of the machines we can count 100% also. So this could be a remote possibility for the future. As of now, the court has rejected this, guys. In future, if they are able to make this counting slips as well as the barcodes for each political parties along with their symbols, then the counting process becomes easier. So these two suggestions Justice Khanna has given. The other Judge Datta has cast aspersions on the character of these petitioners. Unfortunate, because ADR is known for several landmark cases, which includes information in 2002, guys, ADR versus Union of India. the case has resulted in Supreme Court giving an order that in the affidavit what they file before the returning officer, every contestant has to give the income details of them and their spouse, and the educational qualifications and the criminal history of the contestant also should be given. So several such kind of cases are associated with ADR, but unfortunately one of the judges has cast some doubts on the character, or we can say on the nature of these NGOs. Unfortunate thing by one of the judge guys. Okay, so this is the entire issue here. I hope you understood. If you have any questions with respect to this, before I end up, there is one more point here, guys. Election disputes can be filed within 45 days after the results. But now when the court is saying that we have to open up the EVMs within 7 days of counting if any contestant is filing this written request. So generally EVMs are not opened, okay, that means they are not going to, after counting it is done, guys. For 45 days they will not be having any kind of opening of the EVMs. But now what happens, within 7 days of the request, what happens after the result, they can file the petition to open up these EVMs and see the memory is burnt again or not. So this will have some repercussions on the RP Act 1951, guys, which says election disputes can be filed 45 days after the result comes. So there is a discrepancy between both of these. Let's see in future they have to amend the RP Act regarding the time limit within which any person can contest the dispute for the elections, guys, results. Okay, so I hope you understood this topic. If you still have any questions, please post in the comment box. I'll be happy to clarify. I'll come back next week to with another topic, guys. Keep watching Amigos IAS. Thank you.